actionable intelligence and utilizes special operations teams to eliminate enemy strongholds throughout the country. Jack Murphy was a sniper team leader with the 3rd Ranger Battalion.
The entire battalion was deployed to Iraq in 2005. We were doing missions in Tel Afar, which is west of Mosul, and it was considered the hotbed of enemy activity. Every time we went in, there was a massive firefight.
Almost all of the Ranger missions in Iraq happen at night.
The enemy is limited by that period of darkness, while it actually enables us in many ways. At nighttime, a lot of times they're sleeping. It's the best time to catch them by surprise. To go on a combat operation with the Ranger Regiment, it was the summer in Iraq, and it's still blistering hot even at night, very claustrophobic. You're wearing all of your body armor, you have your night vision goggles down, there's no depth perception, you can hear yourself breathing.
And that's when all those grueling hours of training finally pay off.
By the time you kick that door in, you've already done it back at Fort Benning at a training range a million times. By the time that you enter the room, you know where the strong points are supposed to be and what you're supposed to do, how to do it effectively.
At that time, we were targeting mostly the foot soldiers, the guys who would build the bombs or do the shooting, do the killing, but also the financiers, the facilitators who fund the insurgency and have some kind of directive role, and also, of course, the leadership. And what would happen when we go onto that target and we capture or kill those guys is you're then doing an evidence collection procedure, which is something we sort of learned from the FBI.
New technology becomes the key to getting vital information to Delta Force, SEAL teams, and the Rangers on the ground.
Technology's been huge for us in many, many ways, but what it does best is it brings together information from multiple sources and allows us to be able to react to that in a rapid manner and then constantly be able to launch operations to capitalize on time-sensitive information.
They call it sensitive site exploitation. They tell you what to look for. You look for cell phones, try to get the SIM cards out of cell phones.
You're looking for what people have in their pockets. You're looking for what they have on their computers.
And you start to find out specific information about other networks in the insurgency.
If we had an address or a phone number out of a cell phone that we could act on in the field, then we would do that.
And all of a sudden, you've got a cycle where you're doing operations, and those operations are generating intelligence, which is generating the next operation. And you begin to link together how people are connected. And ultimately, we've come to describe this as a network fighting a network.
General McChrystal and the Joint Special Operations Command call this process network-centered warfare.
The speed with which they can assess intelligence and move on to follow on targets has dramatically increased.
You hit a target, you gather some information, you call the helicopters back in, you talk to the helicopter pilots for about 10 or 15 minutes, you replan the mission there on the ground, jump back on the helicopters and take that information that you just got, and you go conduct another very specialized, very surgical operation.
I think Al-Qaeda in Iraq was really taken down by this capability and the different operating forces that were able to put this together in a way that allowed us to be more agile than the enemy and ultimately get to Zarqawi himself